Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of the Good News from Your Nation.
That's right. Hopefully, you're having a beautiful day as well. And, right?
It's
I mean,
beautiful.
we got a hurricane possibly coming in down there at the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi. So, hopefully, everybody, if there's anybody watching from that areas, you're safe or going to be safe, prepared already. Um, Today, it's about our God. And, I thought about this like when I was younger, I used to love go caving, and I never went with a guide. I always went to these caves because I knew about them and had been in them, a little bit before, but went my own self, you know, and looked at the own things that I seen. But with a guide, you're being showed, different things, that maybe you don't know about or didn't see, and so on. A guide, what I'm saying is, will help lead you through the course that you're on. Well, we have that perfect God. There's Christ is our God, and we need to keep her focus. Keep her. This is titled "Fix Your Gaze on the God." So, we need to be looking to God. You know it, and
Yeah.
Jesus. Psalms 31:3 says, "For your name's sake, you will lead me and guide me." That's exactly right.
That's what David said.
Yeah, in Psalm 31, verse 3. And yeah, let's get in here and see what he's trying to tell us here in this devotion. Do you ever fear that finding God's will for your life is like walking a spiritual high wire? One misstep and disaster awaits. That if you don't hear him right, you'll suffer irreversible consequences. I mean, we may think that God's will for our life, and if like we make one misstep, it's disaster. Anxiety about discerning the Lord's path for your life can be paralyzing. We want to do the right thing, and you want to make the right steps and right decisions, and we don't know everything. We may think we do. We may think, oh, yep, this is what God was wanting me to. Not necessarily, y'all. But having anxiety and worrying about God, the Lord's path for our life, we should not have that anxiety, because it says, but this isn't his intention. He don't want you to be worried to death like that.
Mm-mm.
Certainly there is no evidence for it in Scripture. We never see Moses, David, or Paul panicking because they were unsure of his will, do we? No.
Mm-mm.
And you may think, well, they already knew. No, they didn't know. They went with God and what he laid before them. God knows our future. And that's the very one we want it to be in his hands, our future. Um, Rather than focusing on the need for direction, they fixed their gaze on their God and trusted his guidance. You're wise to do the same. Yeah, they didn't have to necessarily know every single thing, because if we're trusting in the one that's guiding our lives, that has saved our soul from hell, he has the best interest in for us. And so rather than focusing on the need for direction, it's like, what do I go? What direction do I go now? What do I need to do? They just trusted his guidance. And it says we are wise to do the same. He's not going to come right out and tell you, but he'll show you in perfect timing what direction and what we need to do. This is because after meditating on Scripture, seeking counsel, and gathering facts, you will still be incapable of forecasting the future. Right. You can get everything that you have under your you know, belt, so to speak, you know, listening and reading and following along and seeking counsel, getting all the facts, but you ain't going to know what the future holds. Well, none of us will ever know that.
No.
But God does. It says God knows what is ahead. And when you focus on Him, you will know He leads you well. You know, He's not leading you into a trap. We get that from Satan. We get that from our enemy. So we can trust fully to know that God leads us well. He is our perfect guide. And like it says here, these Moses, David, and Paul, and so on, they fixed their gaze on God and trusted His guidance. Not what they seen, not what they knew, not the facts that they gathered, and all this, that, and the other. They focused on God. Period. It sounds simple, don't it? Too simple. It needs to be more complex. No, it's not. It's not that hard. It is hard to put your trust in somebody because of the way we've been done from spouses or whatever. Okay? No, we know because once bitten, twice shy. Yeah, we're not going to do that, but we can trust in God to know that His guidance is nothing but the best for us. So today, view God's will in the context of your relationship with Christ. Seek to know Jesus in daily obedience and dependence, trusting Him as your source and sustenance. That's right. We live and breathe and have our being because of Him. We exist because He blessed us and says here, this is, your path. It ain't nothing that we've done. Oh, I had this great job though, Corey, and a good career, and it was able, to do this, that, and the other. Who gave you that job? Who made sure you got it? You may have all the credentials and all this, that, and the other, but God, see, He blesses us. And He blesses all of us in different ways. And as you draw near to your constant guide and companion, you will find direction and wisdom sufficient for every need. Yes, because we can trust our guide, that He will give us that direction, and He will give us the wisdom that we need for every need. It says every need. So basically, we just have to focus on our guide. Watch Him, follow Him, follow Him. Not what it looks like, not like this trail looks better, this trail looks easier.
Yes.
This trail's hard that you're taking me on, God. It's for a purpose. So we can trust our guide taking us down a path that is going to lead to good things.
That reminds me of that song, He Leadeth Me.
Yeah. He leadeth me. That's exactly right. And so
I love that song.
And we also need to be aware of it, and we need to give it to Him. But we need to be our dependence. We need to have our dependence on the one that has nothing but good lined out for us.
I got to do better.
And we also need to understand that dependence comes from one, not to say that you can't do nothing,
Right.
like a baby, but in a sense, we are babies when it comes to doing the right thing, acting right, treating others right. And God is our guide for that. And when we focus more on Him and not the things, He puts it in us so that how we can handle things and handle things correctly,
We just really have to trust Him.
Yeah.
And I say it a lot, but my nanny would always say that to me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding.
Right.
That's from my nanny, our nanny.
Well, right. And she got it from who? Who
Her
did?
mom.
No, the Lord. I mean, it come from the Lord.
Right. Come from the Lord.
She knew
first.
that you can't trust in your own, because
No.
we make a mess of things. We know that. So
we got to trust him.
we trust him, yeah, because he's our perfect
And
guide.
he's the one that
Yeah.
makes everything
That's right.
happen.
That's it.
So the Lord first, and then everything else always goes in place.
It sure does.
Even when
yeah.
you don't think it is, you really,
Right.
sometimes you don't think which path and,
No.
you know, all this. But he knows, because he's working behind the scenes for you.
Yeah. For the best.
The best.
So
For the one, the...
let's just stay on this course that God has put you on. And if you've not
Yeah.
been put on a course by God, then maybe you need to reach out to him and say, hey, what do you need me to do, God? In what direction do you need to send me in my life? And he'll do it.
all you
And
do,
he'll do it.
just believe.
Because he knows the
Trust
future.
him.
He knows all of our future, what's ahead. And I would trust him to know my future than to me not knowing him and just going into my future haphazardly and blind, if you will. We've got somebody there that's went ahead before us. And yeah.
Smile today, because you're very loved by God.
Yeah.
And
we love you too.
I didn't get to that yet.
Well,
And we love you too, Mr. Interruption.
yeah. So appreciate y'all watching. We're going to get out of here, and we'll see y'all on the beautiful next one. So
That's
peace
right.
out. Love you all. Yeah.
And I like to say, you guys, to please never give up. Always remember just how special you are and how worth you are,
Yeah.
and that you have that beautiful purpose.
That's right.
I promise. I promise. So, we'll see you on the beautiful next one. You guys have an awesome day. Hug yourself. And love you guys.
Yep.
Love you guys. Catch that one.
Yeah.
You're
About to catch a gnat in my eye.